Welcome back. This is another exciting episode of Mr. Takeda Teaches Algebra. I'm your host, Mr. Takeda, and I'm going to teach you some algebra right now. This is lesson 4.7, part 2. Just the very last example here on piecewise functions. This one has to do with step functions. It is a type of piecewise function, but the difference here is all of the functions are horizontal lines. That's where it gets its name. They look like a set of steps. So on this example, you can see on your screen in front of you a step function is a piecewise function and defined by a constant value. That's what I mean by it. They're all horizontal lines over each part of its domain. So in this example, f of x equals 2, so y value is 2 if x is greater than or equal to 0 and less than 2. So we have the solid dot over on this side and the open circle on this side. It's 3, so y is 3 if x is between 2 and 4. If x is between 2 and 4. And if x is equal to 2. So again, we have the solid dot on this side and the open circle on this side. And this continues all the way up, all the way up to where x is 7. Y is 7, if x is between 10 and 12, and includes if x is equal to 10. Now notice one thing here is that we never have two solid dots overlapping each other. It's always an open circle in line with a solid dot. And like all functions, this would pass the vertical line test. All right? So this is our step function. Take a look at this example here. So we have a couple questions here. Does the graph represent y as a function of x? So that's on a graph, what do? We're asking ourselves, does this pass a vertical line test? And it does. There's no part of the function that overlaps another part. Where we have a solid dot, where the graphs where they change parts of the domain, we have a solid dot overlapping a circle. So it's always just a solid dot. So this does pass the vertical line test. Now describe the values of the function for each of the following intervals. Where x is between -6 and -3, y is -2. If x is between -3 and 0, y is equal to 0. If x is between 0 and 3, y is equal to 2. And finally, between 3 and 6, between 3 and 6 here, y is equal to 4. Okay? Now, in this kind of function, it doesn't ask us here to talk about domain and range, but what is the domain here? The domain goes from here to here, right? There's no gaps in there. So if I was asked to find the domain, it would be -6 is less than or equal to x, and x is less than 6. Right? It's the whole thing put together. That would be my domain. And the ranges would just have to be these numbers, -2, 0, 2, and 4. The range is just 4 numbers, because that's the only place they exist on the y. The y values, there's only 4 of them. Okay, so let's take a look what's next. Just a little word problem here. You rent a karaoke machine for 5 days. The rental company charges $50 for the first day and $25 for each additional day. Write and graph a step function that represents the relationship between X number of days and the total cost Y in dollars of renting the karaoke machine. All right, well, we know we're only going to be able to have positive numbers in a case like this. And our positive number of days are going to start at 0. So we can go 0 to 1. So x has to be less than or equal to 0 and less than 1. I'm going to change this to be just, doesn't make any sense to be equal to 0. Let's see. And then it can be up to, we're going up to 5 days. So 1 to 2, 2 up to 3, 3 up to 4, and 4 up to and including the 5th day. Okay, so what's our total cost here? The rental company charges $50 for the first day, okay, so that would include here, and then $25 for each additional day. So that means additional 50 plus 25 would be 75, and then another 25 would be 100, then 125, and then 150. Okay, so it's a good idea to organize your information in the table before you start trying to do any kind of graphs or anything like that. So that's the information, that's the inputs and outputs organized for us here. So number of days, bingo, 0. Let me take a look at something here real quick. Okay, so I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the total cost in dollars, let's go 100, 200. So from 0 to 1, now I have an open circle here on the 0, that's about $50 up to the first day. 75, open circle to the second day. I guess I should have chosen a bigger scale for this, huh? $100, 2 to 3. 125 from 3 to 4. And 150 from 4 to 5. Okay? That's it. That's how we create these step functions. And that's it. Well, I'll see you in class. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.